don't know what I'm gonna title this video. I'm kind of thinking background noise vlog, because I feel like that's a pretty good indicator of what I want this video and maybe even series to be, as I just kind of want it to be background noise, something you might listen to, you might watch it and just watch the video, but more or less it's meant to you listen to it as you do something else, because I'm not really going to be putting any real effort into these videos, as I don't think vlog style videos are effort filled. They're kind of just here to spill some thoughts, and if people like the person in question, they'll watch the video or listen to the audio, things like that. Type of video that I've always considered doing on the channel, and I don't know if I'm going to commit to it or not. Take this as kind of like a trial run. I'm going to see if there's any appeal, because personally I don't think there is. Maybe that's me just undervaluing myself, but I kind of feel like people come to my videos specifically for a review or an analysis or a discussion on a topic in question, not necessarily something that may not be directly about anime of the season or something about my own life and things like that, as I'm always not going to keep it too personal on the channel, because I think there's an importance to keep your life private, especially in the world of content creation, but I do think there's potential there for people to maybe connect a little more with me than what they can on just general episode reviews, because I constantly get comments saying like, hey, I don't know if this is the right place to ask this because it's a review on Our Last Crusade, or it's a review on Talentless Nana and they're asking like a personal question, or like, hey, do you have any plans to review this other thing? And I do appreciate those people, I have to say. There's I think a lack of respect for a lot of I think it goes both ways. There's a lack of respect for content creators getting questions directed to them and just expecting them to do what you want, or just, hey, if I want you to review this, you have to review this, not taking into consideration people have a life. But I also think that respect is very lacking for content creators towards their comment section. Most don't even look at their comment section, and I understand to a certain degree, especially with how much toxicity is online, but for me personally, if there's no comment section on YouTube, I wouldn't be making videos, I don't think, because even though there's definitely a lot of management you have to do to have a presentable comment section, at the end of the day, if you don't have that community, it's really just talking into a void, and there'd be no use into ever making a video. This past season of anime, we're getting close to the midway point, honestly, which is kind of insane. Like, some anime are at episode 5 now, some at episode 4. We're almost halfway through a lot of these series if they're only going to be running one core. And that's interesting, because I think people have had a mixed opinion on this year of anime because of the coronavirus delays, or just thinking apparently winter was a bad season, which I still firmly believe was a great season. It may have had not as many great anime, but it had a good number of great anime. I think it's very interesting looking at this season and just so far the amount of anime reviews I pumped out so far, which I'm honestly quite proud of now that I have the time to dedicate as much time as I want into YouTube. It definitely has opened up a lot of doors, and I kind of want to talk about that a little bit, because there's certain changes I've made. Obviously, for some people who have looked at certain reviews, they may not be there anymore, but I'm not making new reviews. Some people have asked me about Ikebukuro Westgate Park, some people have asked me about By the Grace of the Gods, both of which I am no longer reviewing, not because I don't like them, I just don't think the audience is there. In the case of Ikebukuro, in terms of By the Grace of the Gods, there actually is a good audience there, I just don't think the content's worth making. In terms of Westgate Park, it's a show that I think is amazing, and I think people should be watching it. It just doesn't have the flash to bring people in to watch the show alone, let alone people just don't care about reviews. There's just not a good audience, and if it takes me weeks to get a dozen comments on a video, it just doesn't feel like it was successful at the end of the day. And even though I have the time to make the video, it just doesn't feel good when you make a video and you know that it really is just for you. So that show definitely had to just be for myself. By the Grace, I actually had every intention of continuing to review that show, because I think it's a really wholesome slice of life isekai that honestly does things a lot differently than what you're typically used to. Unfortunately, I binge watched the last 2 episodes and I did make a review for it. I just wasn't happy with it. I felt like what I was saying wasn't anything different than I said in my previous reviews. And because I will never upload something I'm not happy with, I just realized, you know what, this is going to be a show for me. It's not really as interesting to make reviews anyway. I had the feeling that might happen. Anything that doesn't have a very heavy story, it's difficult to do weekly reviews, because a big kind of interest factor for the audience or the creator is kind of theorizing and speculating and breaking down what could happen, which is actually, if you didn't know, I don't read much manga. A big reason is because personally I just prefer the anime medium, but the biggest reason why I don't go out of my way is because if I don't have the ability to theorize about what could happen, I feel like I lack a critical piece of my review that I really enjoy, which is I wonder what could happen. And usually I dodge spoiler bullets like the plague, which is noticeable. As you can see, like somehow I've managed to be pretty good. Not always, but there's certain series that are a bit more hectic than others, but I'm pretty grateful for not having as many bad people. But I guess usually the people who spoil generally are saying some pretty vile things beforehand, so it's easy to get them out of the way before they start dropping massive spoilers. I actually had quite a few people worry that the number of reviews that I've been doing this season was going to cause me to burn out and crash. Farthest thing from it. I know there's a lot of YouTubers who you can tell make videos specifically for money, and they make videos even though they're burnt out of anime. That's not me. I love watching anime. I can watch 20 anime in a season. I may not review all of them, but I can make a dozen reviews without much struggle. Anime to me is just a really fun medium, and I love making reviews more than I love watching the anime. And I already like watching the anime, so the fact that I like making the reviews, I find episodic reviews are always different. Even if the format looks the same per episode review, to me it actually feels like it's new, it's different. It's a new episode, so I have new things to say. Even if the style presentation's the same, the content makes the review different. I don't see myself ever getting burnt out of making anime reviews, if I'm going to be honest. Maybe reviews, but anime content I never will. I really don't feel like that's possible. Life may make me make less or more depending on circumstances, but to me, the idea of only reviewing like 3 things in a season, even if every video of mine brought in 100,000 views, I would still probably make at least 10 videos a season, if I'm being honest. If I had the time to do so, that's like my base. I wouldn't want to go under 10 and max probably 15. To me, it's just like, I don't see how you could fill your time throughout the day, even with your pastimes, to say like go to bed and wake up, say you had a good day and you did like 1 hour of work over the past 3 days. Because I'll be honest with you, anime reviews are very easy to make, especially episodics. It takes me about an hour and 45 minutes per episode review. It's not too bad. It's really, you watch it. I mean, if you script it, it's a little different. And video essays, things like that, they take a lot longer. But if you do things right with your editing, if you're not using Windows Movie Maker, you can make presets. You can do things like any sort of cool video transition. You can make that into a preset. You click it, you drag it onto a clip, an image, whatever, and it will do that cool effect. You don't have to do it time and time again. And as long as you're the one taking the screenshots or the clips, you know where to place it throughout the video. So you just really make it quick. It should take no longer than a couple of hours if you're doing an episode review. So that's why I always kind of find it weird when anyone who's like making anime content thinks very highly of themselves, which is why I don't think highly of myself. I'm just a guy talking about anime. My opinion is not facts. You don't have to say, this guy's right, this guy's opinion is gospel. No, you can say to me, Sword Art Online is the critically best anime ever written, and as long as you're not telling me I have to agree with you, your opinion's just as valid as mine. That's why I think it's very... You gotta be humble. You gotta, not think you're the best. I firmly believe in my opinions, but I'm not saying my opinions have to be shared by everyone. It's just so fun to me making videos like this because I love the comment aspect, even though sometimes it can be a bore. It can be like, oh, here's a really mean thing said to you, or there's just like people are just disregarding what you said for another thing, and it can get exhausting, don't get me wrong, but I love making videos, and that's honestly why I kind of wanted to make this one right now. It's just like, I love it. I really feel so rejuvenated, and I think the quality is really showing right now in terms of the content. I think I'm making my best videos ever. I mean, I do certain things to make money, don't get me wrong. I had to restructure how I title videos, I had to restructure my thumbnails, and I also had to restructure how I do mid-roll ads, because if I want to make money and be able to keep making as much content, there's certain things I have to do to advertise it and to monetize it in order for it to be sustainable. If I had my way, if I could be a millionaire, I wouldn't have ads on whatsoever, but that's just kind of the nature of the beast. But I think in terms of what I offer for my content, I don't think it's manipulative. I think I'm pretty honest with what I do. Anything that could be a spoiler is always blurred out in this thumbnail, so I think I do it better than a lot of people. But it's just something that I'm just feeling really good about the channel right now. And I think with the amount of comments I get, I think there's a decent community for videos like these. And I think if there is, it'd be maybe fun that a lot of those questions that maybe people give me or maybe want to ask me but don't know where to, maybe we could have like a Q&A section in these videos when I do it. I don't plan on having them be like regular videos. I don't think it'll be weekly. Maybe they will. Maybe it'll be every other week. Maybe it'll be once a month. I just think if I have something interesting, rather than trying to make it into a full-fledged video, just slap random discussion thoughts down on this background noise vlog and just, see what people have to say. Because, life is always crazy. There's always new things happening, and it's easier to have it in this video than try to post a thought on Twitter and things like that. There's always new things that could always be on your mind, and I think it's important to, be able to discuss it in a friendly environment, and I tend to think I have a friendly environment. I try to welcome different opinions as long as you're respectful about said different opinions. And let me know if you guys want more videos like these. I don't think this video had any worth, to be honest. It was just more of me thinking like, oh, I've been getting some questions about anime that I stopped reviewing. I think I should announce it in some way. I also just feel good about the channel right now, wanted to say as much, and honestly, if there's the appeal for this, if people care about my thoughts outside of specific anime discussions, I think it might be interesting to have like, hey, you can ask me questions on these videos, I'll save them, and then I'll answer them at different points. I don't know, but let me know. This is kind of like a trial episode. I don't know if this will work out. I don't think so, but then again, that maybe just be me undervaluing what I have to offer. I don't think I should do them too often because I think they're better spaced out. If you do them too much, they'll get a little clouded and a little too much of the same. But yeah, I just want to throw this out there. Let me know if you enjoyed this episode. Think they're anything too crazy, but it's kind of fun to have that breathing room and just say whatever the hell's on your mind. And yeah, so let me know whatever you're feeling. Like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if somehow you're new around here and this is the first video you checked out. Till next time, have a good one, everyone.